Here I am at Oak Creek, and it's raining. Rained all day yesterday, kind of stopped overnight, and then picked up again this morning. It's about 3:30 now, and I'm wondering if I've seen it this full before. Anyway, it's pretty good flow here. I'm gonna try some stuff maybe. That overhanging tree there is a nice gauge, relatively speaking. Let's check out that bar. Yeah, we got flow over the bar, awesome. Alright, so the plan, such as it is, on the spur of the moment, because it is raining. So I got this shelter here, which you can at least hear in the audio there. And I brought the mobile reader, and of course I've got the stationary reader here. So I'm going to use the tablet here to interface with this to see what may or may not be going on, and see what may or may not be going on in terms of sediment moving, tracers moving. And then what I want to do is take a bucket of tracers that I've got some 8 to 16 size and some 16 to 32 size, and what I think would be neat is to take those up above antenna 2. I'm not going to go above antenna 1 because I'm not going to get in that water. And that's what I need to do that. So anyway, I'll take the bucket up above antenna 2 with the mobile reader and drop tracers in. See what that does. Might be interesting. Okay, so looks like there are some tracers being read, which is pretty awesome. Of course, antenna 2 is the one that's kind of got one stuck on it. I don't know. Maybe given that, I ought to do antenna 3. So here we are at antenna 2. There's the tuner. This is benchmark or cross section 31, and I've got the tape on that. Follow that over here. Here we have cross section, actually not clear what number, 5 meters, 20 centimeters, or I guess we're measuring from the downstream side of the post. Here's the next cross section, 8 meters, 90 centimeters, cross section 33. Cross section 34, I think, 11 meters, 70 centimeters. Alright, I turned on the mobile tracker, reset the time. It doesn't seem to keep time when it's off. So reset the time and date off of the Yuma, and started up a putty session with the Yuma. So I'm here at the creek, it's raging, and I want to put in some tracers here upstream of antenna 2. I'm going to take this bucket down here. There's the backpack enough to get the antenna within reach down there. should stay fine within Bluetooth range. Knock wood. That bucket is on the tape at 9 meters, 80 centimeters. Let's see how this might go. Start with some small ones. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just gonna toss this in. And I think I'll do that again. Try a couple of the bigger ones. Smaller. Couple big ones now. Another bigger one. Couple more small ones. One and two. Let's try two more big ones. There's one. There's two. I'm going to keep doing this for a bit here. I was thinking I might, those are smaller ones, thinking I might go to see whether these are moving quickly. There's two small ones, two bigger ones now. See if they might be moving quickly to across the antenna, but I'd have to close down the session here and so on. So let me just add some more of these first. Okay, two more small ones now. There's number two. Two more big ones. Let's go take a gander at some of those numbers. Okay, there's some of the numbers. Let's go check the fixed antenna logger. Huh. By the way, I guess this is my first test of the relative water resistance of my Pixel 2, because it's kind of getting sopping wet. So, hope nothing goes wrong there. Okay, here we are back at the box. And here's what I'm seeing here, which is a big fat nothing, although it looks like something. That's just the tracer that's been parked on that antenna for a while. So actually I can go ahead and do an upload. You know, it's possible those tracers just went zipping right down as soon as I tossed them in, and they're already passed. Oh, shit, a lot of this that same damn one. Yeah, I think that's a big fat fail. Just checking to see how the antennas are functioning. Seem to be okay, sorta. Oh, fuck. I mean, shit. I mean, shoot. That voltage is awfully low. Damn. That's just awesome. Alright, I've picked up shop and moved down to here, antenna 3. Let's go down and see what I've done with the tape measure. Interesting, there's already one up there. And that's my total pet peeve, tying knots in these nice tape measures when there's a perfectly good clip there. Alright, so flip the tape to the fence post there that's here on this bridge. Antenna 3 is right about there in the middle of the frame, just about. Okay, so here was the tuner at 1 meter 40 centimeters. Here's a cross section, don't see a number, and downstream end of it is at 4 meters 82 centimeters. Here's the next section, can't see a number. Here we are, 8 meters, what is that, 55 centimeters on the downstream end of the section post. Next section, 11 meters, about 11 meters, 10 centimeters. And finally, the section upstream from where I'm gonna be sitting with my, tossing in my tracers. Upstream. And my video cut out before. So while I'm parked, who should arrive but Sammy and I'm not sure who else. We're going to do some bedload sampling, so I figured I would come get a look. Yeah. So what are you exactly going to do here?
So we're going to sample the bedload.
Yeah.
We're going to do a cross section. We're going to hold our sampler. It has a mesh bag on it. And we're going to hold it for 2 minutes at every foot and pull extra rocks that are bouncing along the bottom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Feet, huh?
What was that?
Feet, huh?
Feet. That's what the tape is in.
Well, there you go. You use feet.
Yep. And then we've got this rope here we're going to attach to the sampler so we can have the sampler in on one side and then the rope comes under the bridge and we can hold it up so that it's not
Oh, cool.
Downstream, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So wait, let me get that straight again. You're going to have the rope going through...
Under the bridge, yeah.
Oh, and so you're going to put that on the downstream end of the bridge.
Yeah.
All right, let me just... I'm just not getting it. I'm slow here. So that's called a Helly Smith sampler, correct?
This is actually a modified LWA sampler.
Oh, modified LWA. What makes it different from a Helly Smith?
I think the ratio of the opening and the size, it's a little bit bigger, right? Helly Smiths are smaller, a little more, almost more square.
All right. I've never used either one, so this will be cool.
All right.
Yeah, make sure your knot's good, right?
Double check with the bag you check. Yeah, so every time we empty it into one of these.
Gotcha.
And so the water can still drain out.
Yeah.
Still got all the sediment in there.
We'll have to see if you get any of my tracers.
What's the heat?
I tossed some in. You know, it'd actually be really cool if you did, because then...
They're moving.
Then they'd be moving.
Yeah.
Because I never know just how good these antennas are at getting in rocks that are zipping by. There's definitely stuff moving.
Yeah, we definitely picked up some stuff.
Awesome.
It's not much higher than it was around noon.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is that right?
Yeah,
well, it was raining in the morning.
Yeah.
It stopped raining overnight. I was so bummed.
I know, me too. We were going to come out really early and then...
I know, I was thinking of coming out before class this morning. I have an 8:30 class. I was thinking of coming out and I looked and was like, nah, it stopped raining all night. God damn, man. Can I catch a break? Just asking for some rain.
Just a little. But this is good. This is the highest it's been. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
Bare hands. Dang. You guys are brave. I've got like rubber gloves underneath my other gloves and hand warmers in my gloves. Got foot warmers in my boots.
Alright, here you go.
So how long do you leave it in for?
2 minutes and every foot. So let us know when you want to put it to the side and coming all the way across.
Back the next morning, actually almost noon. Here's antenna 2. Wish I could get some of that debris that's caught on it off, but not really anything I can do about it right now. This is the spot where I was throwing in tracers last night. Second place I was throwing in tracers. Before I got any video of that, my camera died. See the bridge there. Stage is at about 0.6 feet. So this is antenna 1. After the recent high water. Just before the recent high water, I spent a bit of time trying to batten it down. It looks to me like it's significantly more bowed downstream than it was then. And I made my way over here to check it because its voltage and current draw are low. Not ridiculously low, like 2.05 amps as opposed to 2.2 amps or 2.25 amps for the others. 470 volts peak to peak versus 540 volts peak to peak for antenna 2. So it's not a hopeless case, but it does appear to be out of tune. I might tune it right now, except that the oscilloscope battery appears to have died on me. Didn't really count on using it before I came out here, so I didn't charge it. So I had power just long enough to get the peak-to-peak voltages on antennas 1 and 2. Wanted to note some changes that occurred here during the high water. Before the high water, on this near end of the antenna, I had piled some rocks because the antenna was vibrating a lot in the current. So I'd piled some cobbles there to try to stabilize the corner without obstructing too much of the flow. And also tried to tighten the cord on the middle of the antenna a bit, although I wasn't able to do much there because I didn't want to untie the cords. Anyway, you can see that there is still one cobble there on the near end corner of the antenna, but there had been 3 or 4 there, and those are now gone. Not too surprising, they were rather precariously placed there. It's not too surprising that when a strong current came along, it knocked them over, knocked them out of the way, especially because this is a relatively steep part of the stream here. So if those cobbles had been tagged, it's likely we would find them either in that little bar there or in one of these holes here. This is where I crossed the stream to go check on antenna 1. It's not our usual crossing point. Our usual crossing point is up by that iron or steel, whatever it is, pipe up there. Didn't feel like gauging that point with the top of my boots, so came down and noticed that this shoal here seems to be more pronounced. So we would have to do some cross-section surveys to see whether and how much the bed has changed here. But it does look to me that this is a prograding bar. I bring students out here in the spring to do cross-section resurveys in the interest of finding changes at cross-sections, so this would be a good spot to have them resurvey. We found these cross-sections have exhibited quite a bit of change in the past few years. So I'm here back in my office looking at the data for tracer detections at our antennas, trying to see if any of the ones that I dropped in the creek the other night were detected since then. And it looks like none of the ones that I dropped upstream of antenna 2 were detected at antenna 2, at least not yet. And I scroll down here to antenna 3. 2 of the rocks that I tossed in upstream of antenna 3 were detected at antenna 3 sometime later. This one, 734242, took, so what I tossed them in at 1650 to 4:50 p.m. and they're showing up at 2051, so 8:50 p.m. And this one took all of 3.7 seconds to transit that antenna. The other one's tag number 734350, and it shows up at the antenna at 1907, so a little over 2 hours. It took this tracer to make it to the antenna, and it took 23 minutes for it to transit the antenna. That is the time between the first detection at the antenna and the last detection at the antenna is 23 minutes. Now, this is interesting to me because both of the tracers that I detected at antenna 3 are the smaller rocks. So one of the things that I was interested in seeing was, would I only get small rocks detected at the antennas after tossing them in, or would I only get large rocks? If I only got small rocks, then that indicates that only the small rocks were moving fast enough to get to the antenna during the time that flows were high enough to move those rocks. But perhaps the flows were not great enough to move the larger tagged rocks that I threw in, the 16 to 32 millimeter rocks. If it had been the other way around, if it had been that I only detected the larger rocks after tossing them in during the high flow, then that might indicate that the smaller rocks were also making it to the antenna, but were simply moving too fast to be detected. So this is actually really good news in the sense that it's better that I've got only small rocks taking their time to get there rather than wondering whether I'm missing small rocks because I'm only seeing large ones.